Welcome everyone to the June 21st, 2022 Board of Directors for PCCS. Piedmont Community Charter School is a tuition-free K-12 school that offers a superior college preparatory education experience for this community and its families. Would you all join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda, public comments. Do we have any public comments?
No, sir.
Thank you. Item 4, awards and recognition.
Well, I'm very happy to read this report. Piedmont dancers attended the Star Talent National Dance Competition in Myrtle Beach last week. At this competition, dancers took master classes, networked, and made friends and connections with dancers and choreographers from all across the country. PCCS took home a number of awards, including the following. They scored high gold and won first place in the contemporary dance. They scored platinum and won first place in the hip-hop category. The hip-hop team won first place in the national division champion. They got a call back to compete in the Star Talents Extravaganza, so like the finale, and the hip-hop won the top award of National Overall Grand Champion.
All right.
We could not be more proud of Miss Yentz, and the students.
Is there video anywhere?
Well, videos are coming, and we'll be posting those on Facebook.
Okay, great.
Also, Lois placed either high gold or platinum and scored in the top 20 overall. We're so proud of these talented students. We are so proud of Miss Yentz and the students. On to sports. 11th grader Grace East was selected as Conference Player of the Year in both softball and basketball. What an achievement by this Piedmont athlete to be selected by conference coaches in 2 different sports. PCCS presented its first Scholar Athlete scholarships to 2 graduating seniors this year, Kaylee Nolan and Devin Tharp. They were each awarded $1,000 scholarships along with a plaque in recognition of their academic and athletic achievements at Piedmont. Our class of 2022 graduation ceremony was a wonderful celebration. We congratulate our valedictorian, Grayson Yancey, salutatorian, Kylan Starr, the Ann Beam Morgan Memorial Scholarship recipient, Carter Diggs, and all of our Piedmont graduates. Special thanks to First Assembly for hosting our ceremony since we got rained out at Caramont Park. It was a very special night for our families. And then I would like for Ms. White to talk about the playground you see pictured before you.
It looks awesome. So you do have a picture of our extra playground. I don't want to say just new because we already have a very new play set on our field. When we expanded and we added that extra class per grade, our kids only get to play on the playground once a week, 1 day a week, yes. So this will give them that opportunity. And so huge special thank you to our PTO because of their hard work in making our Booster-thon such a successful fundraiser. We were able to save 2 years worth of money to pay for this new playground. That's awesome.
That's great.
Yes. You know, as in everything, it takes a little bit longer for installation, so we should have this in about 20 weeks. Yep, 20 weeks. And we were able to get it under $70,000. So that's pure Piedmont fundraising.
That is awesome.
That's great.
Thank you. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all I have for awards and recognition.
Thank you. Item 5, approval of previous minutes. Are there any questions or comments on the minutes from May 17th? Thank you, Ms. Barker. Keeping minutes and sending them out. Anything?
That's good.
I'll hear a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the May 17, 2022 meeting minutes as presented. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, reports. We will start with the Treasurer Finance Committee report.
I'm actually going to let Scott do it tonight for me.
Gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Poole. I'm going to start with the budget report. Looking at month-to-date activity, total revenue there was $1,632,750.86. Expenses for the month, $1,317,325.62, what leaves us with a net surplus of $315,425.24. Total other income is from our investment account, $6,236.29, for a net surplus for $321,661.53. Puts us year-to-date $1,478,636.02. Questions on that one? All right, next we'll look at surplus and cash report. Start with operating, $2,973,386.70. Special funds of $15,147.28. The investment account, $2,426,066.72. IDA, $103,889.21, and petty cash of $1,000 leaves $5,519,489.91. One note there, moving forward, the special funds and the IDA account will be rolled into the operating fund moving forward, so you won't see those two next year. Moving down, anticipated cash position, cash and cash investments on hand, 6/30 would be $4,804,364. Add in the operating surplus and ERC refund, $1,906,972.75. Less balance appropriations, $1,104,665.28. Leaves expected cash and investments on hand at 6/30/2022 of $5,660,671.47. If you minus out the PNC investment account of $2,426,066.72, leaves expected cash available as of 6/30 of $3,180,604.75. And finally, the U.S. bank accounts. I'm just going to go to the far right on the ending balance. Bond fund of $784,401.71. Debt service reserve fund of $1,794,029.74. Nothing in the project fund. Leaves total bond proceeds held at U.S. Bank of $2,578,431.45. Questions on those? All right. Next is the purchase of elementary furniture. And you should have two.
Ms. White's going to talk.
Ms. White's going to do that? Okay, go for it.
Hello again. You have two quotes in your packet. One that details all of each item, the costs for all of the elementary furniture, and then the quote behind it is just a flat rate. I've been working on this for about 18 months to get an exact quote on furniture. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the elementary campus has never had brand new furniture. It's been donations and things just piecemealed, purchased from Habitat for Humanity, garage sales, and warehouses that are around town. I think even our second grade has storage from the hospital when Gaston Memorial switched over to Caramont. So that's where some of their storage comes from. So we've been working hard on this. We are working with somebody who has a state contract, and so it's almost half of the price. Scott, can you read those two numbers for me?
Yes. So the Our total would be $396,709.05. That is with the state contract. The number to the left, this is, sorry, on page 5. The number to the left there would be without. That's $695,552.
So we get a nice discount by going through a company that has the state contract that other schools use. The second quote is for furniture removal. Most schools, when they get brand-new furniture, their building is completely empty. Ours is functioning, and it is completely full of furniture. So the company who's going to do it, we're going to delay shipment on student furniture because it takes them 2 weeks to install it, put it together, ready to go for students to come back. So they're going to do it over Christmas break. So we'll have to delay the shipment, but purchase ASAP, because we've already had, I think, five to seven price increases since I started working with them last January. So that quote is to actually remove the furniture. They'll bring about 10, not dump trucks, what is the word?
Dumpsters?
Dumpsters, thank you. 10 dumpsters, and they will haul off our furniture and take it away for us. We have called and searched high and low to see who would want our furniture, who would want to come and get it, where could we sell it. Nobody wants it. They want us to bring it to them if they want it, but otherwise that's been the most difficult piece. So they just added, they'll have hourly employees work to haul the furniture out, and they'll take care of that and then install it, and they can do it in 2 weeks.
But they're going to deliver the desk in August, right? Isn't that the plan?
Office furniture and teacher furniture.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be here before the staff comes back, but that is a quicker ship than the student furniture. Do you have any questions about that?
So does this include pulling out the teacher's desk as well?
Yes.
Yeah, the teacher's desk, some of them, I bet, are 60 years old.
Pretty much everything's coming out, right?
Yes, yes.
Now, are you replacing the Patriot Pile?
Yes, ma'am, yes, all 5 buildings.
Oh, great.
All 5 buildings. 4 buildings.
I was just thinking they needed.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, they do. And that's what took me a long time to make sure I got all the numbers right. Because if you go straight enrollment, you forget about when they go to specials or when they go to different classrooms. So you have to account for more.
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? What's the total?
Total with the removal, $416,209.05.
If there are no other questions or comments, I'll hear a motion.
Make a motion, we approve the office furniture proposal for the elementary campus.
Second.
Motion
As
to-
presented, right?
What's that?
As presented?
Yes, yes. So this includes all the 416, so the 399 plus the 19.5 for removal.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That's great. That's a big
We
upgrade.
do need it, yes.
That's a major upgrade. That's
Yes,
great.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
she's been working on that a long time.
And that's all I have.
Gonna have some excited
you.
staff. The students may not care, but staff will.
That's great. Thank you. 6B, Head of School Report.
Good evening, board members. I would like to add first that, like this week, the big TV monitors, sound bars, and Apple TVs are being installed at the elementary campus, and then the middle school campus will be done. So we're
Great.
excited to get that work done too. So all of our teachers have all of the same equipment on all 3 campuses. Okay, the first report I have for you is the compliance submission report. We did not have anything to submit to the Office of Charter Schools, but we did have reports to submit to Emma for our bond loans. So we submitted our quarterly financial information on May the 13th. Our quarterly report, statement of student count, was also submitted on the 13th. Our quarterly report, statement of student count by grade, was submitted on the 13th. And we have to write a written notice of any changes in our key personnel. As of May 13th, there were no changes, so, we will reflect Mr. Bridges' retirement in the next report, the first one for next year, that we, stating that we brought Pam Huffstetler on as of July 1. Next, the statement of disclosure, no plans to expand the school or change the school's organizational structure, no litigation, and no instances or activities of noncompliance with regard to the school's charter. And that was submitted on May the 13th also. All right, next we have the enrollment report. As of June the 13th, we had 1,794 students enrolled. 652 were kindergarten through 4th grade. 632 were 5th through 8th grade. 510 were 9 through 12. And we are fully enrolled for the beginning of the school year. We also have had one withdrawal because they had moved. Our next report is personnel. You can tell our directors have been very busy. So for the elementary campus, we have a new assistant director. Her name is Lauren Avery. And I know Mrs. White will miss Kayla Woods, but her husband got transferred to another state, and they are moving. Erica Barnes will be a new kindergarten teacher. Brittany Griffin, a new kindergarten teacher. She's been with us before. She has come back. Mandy Klein will be a 2nd grade TA, and she's part-time. Lisa Littlejohn will be a 4th grade teacher. Erin Stewart will be a 4th grade teacher. And Pamela Walker will be a new EC teacher. At the middle school, Carl Bledsoe will be an 8th grade English language arts teacher. Sierra Cheatham will be a 6th grade math teacher. Laura East will be a 7th grade math teacher. Tiffany, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, Jatan will be a 5th grade math and science teacher. Mr. Tim Painter will be a full-time custodian, and Tiana Prelude will be a reading remediation teacher. But I think we just changed that to teaching English language arts. So let's just put ELA there. All right, for the high school, David Basinger will be the high school help and PE teacher. Miss Kelly Howe will be the 504 and testing coordinator. And Ryan Hatley will be the new assistant director to work with Miss Huffstetler. Of course, Mr. Colton is still here. Colton Ballard is still here. He will be, Mr. Hatley will actually be replacing Pam's assistant director position. So we're very excited to have all of these new employees.
Getting closer.
Yes. So the high school's fully staffed, middle school's fully staffed, and Ms. White has now 4 positions that she's still hiring for.
That's good.
Any questions? Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the personnel report as presented.
Second.
Just as a note with the one change of Tiana
Yes, the
Prelude
ELA.
to ELA. Yep.
Yes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have the Title I Parent Engagement Policy and Approval for Jennifer Wyatt to submit the CCIP report. So I hope you've had a chance to go through this parent and family engagement policy, and Ms. Wyatt actually met with the Title I parents. She invited them to a meeting, and they actually went through this and made some changes together as a group.
Any notable changes that should be highlighted?
No. Maybe the part about every effort will be made to communicate with parents in a format and language that is free of educational jargon and easily understandable by all. And they will have an interpreter for conferences and materials, will be printed in Spanish. I think the main thing was having an interpreter.
Improving our communication, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, this needs approval as well.
Yes, and I need the motion to read the way I have it written on my head of school report.
Okay.
I move that we approve the Title I Parent and Family Engagement Policy for 2022 through 2023.
Can you read the rest of it, granting permission?
Read what?
On the,
Head of school report.
on the agenda,
Read it from the agenda.
yeah.
Oh, to submit the plan? And that, can I just pick up from where I
Sure.
was? And that we submit approval for Jennifer Wyatt to submit the CCIP report.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next, we have a guest with us, Miss Linda Lynn Cacadelis. She's from the North Carolina Coalition for Charter Schools, and I am making a recommendation to the board that we join. So she's going to join us, and she's also given some handouts for you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Board. And it's such an honor to be here tonight. I will tell you, congratulations on this building. It is beautiful. Growing over the past few years, it's pretty remarkable. The past few years, of course, have been very challenging for all of us. Serving on a charter school board is not for the faint of heart. So first of all, let me just say thank you for your willingness to serve. I'm going to give you a little history of the coalition and then open it up for questions. And instead of doing a PowerPoint, I thought that would be best. A group of charter leaders got together in 2018, fall of 2018, and felt like there needed to be a stronger voice, more emphasis in Raleigh, both at the statutory level and at the regulatory level, to specifically focus in on charter school needs. And in two specific areas. Number one, fair funding, and number two, regulatory creep. Looking at our autonomy and knowing that's what makes charter schools very special, is our autonomy. So in the fall of 2018, charter school leaders got together, discussed it, and then the North Carolina Coalition was launched the beginning of 2019 with their first board and with bylaws, and we got going. But we organized as a C6, not a C3, so that every dime of money that we received would go into advocacy work. We launched that spring, 2019. That was a long session. So we jumped in the middle of the long session, basically with an attorney and two lobbyists. The attorney is Matthew Tilley with Womble Bonnie Dickinson, and he is our attorney today. Many of you may recognize the name Richard Vinroot. Richard Vinroot was on the board of Sugar Creek Charter School back in the early 2000s. In fact, he was one of the founders of that school. He took on about 30 local funding lawsuits for charter schools and took them all the way to the Supreme Court and won every one of those lawsuits. In the meantime, while it was going through to the Supreme Court, there was, in the dark of the night, middle of the night, 2 amendments that passed that overturned everything he won in court. And one of the reasons why charter schools get less funding is they call them the Hackney-Nesbitt amendments, and they've never been repealed to this day. Matthew Tilley was Richard Vinroot's right hand during all those funding lawsuits. And so Matthew's probably one of the smartest folks I know on charter school funding. We contract with Lee Teague and also Harry Kaplan with McGuire Woods, and with their experience, they have been our lobbyists. To this day, we still have those 2, but we've added one more, Dylan Reel, and so we have 3 lobbyists and 1 attorney. In 2019, I was on the board, and we didn't have an executive director for the first year. At the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, I was serving on the Charter School Advisory Board at that time and realized the importance of having an organization like this. Charter operators, and you guys are busy. You are busy people, and things happen so quickly in Raleigh that you don't know when a bill's coming out that may be favorable or may not be favorable to charter schools. So I resigned CSAB and became the executive director of the North Carolina Coalition of Charter Schools. And we then, as many of you realize, 2020, what happened, COVID, and then everything, all funding, everything was focused on the COVID funding. What you have in front of you, though, is an impact statement of what we really did this past long session. Is when we really were able to have an impact on the budget and things that were in the budget. And I'm just going to pick a few that I think are really great. In a, multi-100-page budget, there's all kinds of special things in there. Education funding, sometimes there's special things that will get in a budget. Charter schools are never in them. This year, we were able to get in those things. We had a special project for transportation for buses. We had a special project we did for reading. We were able to get charters, not all charter schools, but some charter schools in those special projects. But that's the first time that had happened for any charter schools to get into special projects. We made sure that the COVID funding was as fair as possible. We were there every day saying, hey, wait a minute. The free and reduced lunch calculation for charter schools is not as accurate as it may be for other schools. And so we were having a strong voice in Raleigh for the charter school funding. The coalition has 11 board members, 3-year terms on a rotating basis, and member schools elect those board members. So we are led by charter leaders for charter leaders. We're in the middle of the short session right now, and what we offer schools is, number one, the Coalition Connection, which is a newsletter that goes out every Saturday morning after the State Board of Education meeting, and then the next Saturday after the Charter School Advisory Board meeting to let you know what's going on there and how even statutes are being implemented into policy. We watch the Regulatory Rules Commission when policies are changed. We look at that and make sure that our 2 focus, number one, we're getting as much fair funding as possible, and that we are taking care of regulatory issues. We also, and I just want to mention this, we also work hard doing op-eds and being right in front of the General Assembly members and the press to make sure we're taking care of some charter school myths. And I'm sure you may have heard of them. Number one, that we drain money from district schools. It's just not true. We don't. In fact, on your local funding, on average, you're getting about 73 cents on a dollar. We're updating that. That was from 2015-16 report. We're updating that. We think it's closer to 60 cents on the dollar. We're unaccountable to the state. Charter schools are just not accountable, right? You just saw all the compliance reports that you just had to approve. And that's just not true. We are extremely accountable, and probably even more accountable, because if there is a bad actor, if there is a charter school not doing what it's supposed to be doing, guess what happens? It's closed down. And we think that's one of the benefits of charter schools. If you're not going to do the work that you've said you would do in your charter, then we need to shut you down. If you're not doing what's fair to children, you need to be shut down. I was on the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Board of Education a couple of terms, and that was back in the 90s. I have a few gray hairs to prove that. But anyway, poor performing district schools seem like they continue to exist forever. That is not true for charter schools. The system works. The myth is that charter schools have dismal academic performance. No, that's not true. If we did, it'd be closed down. Charter schools resegregate both racially and economically. That's not true. Charter schools are profit-seeking. No, we're not profit-seeking. All charter schools are ran by a nonprofit board. Now, that charter school board may want to hire a management company to help manage the charter school, but no charter schools are profit-seeking charter schools. They are all ran by nonprofit boards. And that we cream students, so we only just accept some students. We don't accept all students. It's a lie. It's not the truth. But these are the myths that go out across the state. So our goal is to make sure General Assembly members get accurate information about charter schools. And then the other thing that we do is we send out questionnaires with the Association of Public Charter Schools, questioning candidates on what their thoughts are about charter schools. We can take it a step further. Now, the coalition will never endorse a party, ever, but we will endorse candidates that are favorable to, number one, fair funding of charter schools and autonomy. And I'm just going to give you we have seen the North Carolina Association of Educators target candidates that are favorable toward charter schools, both in Mecklenburg County and in Guilford County. They've served one term in the Senate, one term in the House, and they've lost their seat because of being favorable to charter schools. So we give candidates that are favorable support and let them know that we're out working on their behalf, letting parents and charter supporters know their position on charter schools. Again, some of the benefits for member schools. Number one, we have the newsletter. Number two, we have bi-weekly phone calls, Zoom calls that you can join with our lobbyist and our attorney and ask any questions. We do that all during the session, both the long and short session. We, this past year, contracted with a PR company to help us with our messaging. I don't know if you know, a few months back, opinion piece I wrote was in the Charlotte Observer and the Raleigh News and Observer about the federal regulations that were coming down on the charter school grants. It was picked up by the Wall Street Journal, so I was quoted there. We're going to be doing more of that. We also want to work with your communications person to get good press releases out to the local newspapers and also your delegation in Raleigh to let them know what's going on. So I'm going to let you guys ask me questions if there's anything I can further explain to you about the coalition.
I had a question on, now the transportation you were talking about, now that's for the schools that are opening, correct? Not for the schools who have already established?
The transportation grant?
Or the transportation is required, correct?
There is no transportation required. You have to have a transportation plan.
Okay.
But that is up to you how you would like to do it. Now, there is a transportation grant that we got, reoccurring funds this past year. The problem is all the funds were used in the first semester. So we are going back and advocating for more funding in that transportation grant.
Yeah, and our transportation plan is in our original charter.
Right. You will also hear people say, oh, if charter schools don't have to do transportation, they don't have to do lunch. No, every charter school has a transportation plan and a lunch plan. It just doesn't have to look the same. And that is one of the things we really fight for, is the autonomy. It's really important that charter schools have the autonomy to do, that you guys can do what you need to do quickly. You don't need to wait. And you've got the freedom to do that within certain boundaries. The statute is really clear, and it was established in 1996 when charter schools were established. You are on a performance-based accountability model. Every charter school in the state is performance-based, governance, operations, finance, performance, academic performance. Your LEAs are on a rule-based accountability model. That's why they don't close down LEA schools, your district schools. They don't ever get closed down unless it's just capacity numbers. Nobody's going to the school, so they close it down. But they will never get closed down for governance, operations, or performance.
I see in your packet that you added 10 schools last year. How many total schools are there in the coalition?
There's 63. And we have some management companies, too, that are part of our organization. National Heritage Academy. And we're very careful in having management companies be part. They cannot join at any higher number than the largest independent school in the state, which right now is Lake Norman Charter School, which is right at 2,200 kids. But we want to be your voice. I'm honored to be here tonight. And on behalf of our board, we would be honored to partner with you and be your voice in Raleigh, not just at the statutory level, legislatively with bills in that arena, but also the regulatory level, which is DPI. I knew it all was tricky, but I had to go through a long and short session. Just because a bill is written, just because we think we know how it's going to be implemented, doesn't always mean it will be implemented. So it is not just following the bill through the House and Senate governor's signature, but also the agency and implementation of that bill. And we are there every day watching this. You have my card. You can call me 24/7, and I really don't mind that. When you work in Raleigh and work with the General Assembly, it's 24/7. So.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. If you do have questions afterwards too, you've got my email and my cell number. All right, thank you.
You want to present the contract?
I have an invoice. So the annual dues for our school will be $10,000.
So it's normally $10 per
Per student. Yeah.
student. Kind of caps out at 1,000 ADM, so we're at the max.
We're at the max. Yep.
Any other questions? I mean, the emails that I get are informative.
So you both have tracked this coalition, and you believe in what they're doing, and you see the benefit in what they're doing?
Absolutely.
Have we worked with a lobbyist group or anything like that before, or would this
Well,
be?
we are also a member of the North Carolina Association of Public Charter Schools, and they do great work too. They're a little different than the coalition, but I definitely see the benefit just based on what they have accomplished in the past year, that it will benefit us in the future.
Any concern from the finance side?
No, everything looks, I mean, it would be fine with me. I think everything looks good on that side. And I think it would probably benefit us ultimately, because they're working to increase that funding level.
Okay.
At some point, we'll get that back.
That's the idea. I think that, looking at the main points here, legislation, regulation, communication, and education. We definitely, the first two are important, but I've enjoyed and appreciated the communication that I've received from Ms. Kakadelis over the past year, and then, of course, educating the general public on what we do and how this works, I think is very valuable.
So the $10,000 covers us for 1 year, and then we have the option of renewing?
Any other questions, concerns, comments? If there's no more discussion, I'll hear a motion.
I make a motion, we join the North Carolina Coalition for Charter Schools.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, all I have left is the calendar. So board training will be on July 23rd from 8 a.m. in the morning till 12 noon. And then our next board meeting will be August the 16th.
And you meant PM, right? 12 PM? Instead of 8?
Oh, yeah, 8 a.m. to 12
8
p.m.
a.m.
Yeah, 8 a.m. to 12 PM.
Yeah,
8 a.m. to
we're not
12
doing a
a.m.
midnight madness.
That's
I
right.
was gonna say, you guys have so much fun doing
Mark
that.
off the weekend.
Yes, that will be a morning meeting.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Cohen. 6C, Enrichment Committee.
No report.
6D, Athletics Committee.
No report.
6E, Facilities Committee.
No report.
6F, Governance Committee.
No report.
We're on a roll here, everyone. You can tell it's the end of the school year, right?
You can tell.
All right, well, item 7 is the annual meeting business. And 7A is acknowledging board members completing service. Ms. Crawford? Yes. So we thank you so much for your 6 years of service. It's gotten interesting the last couple of years, and we thank you for hanging in there with us. We'd like to prevent you from leaving. Present you with this plaque for your service.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
And again, thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys. It's been a tremendous learning experience. I have enjoyed even the hard times. I've enjoyed getting to know all of my board members from the first day that I joined when I didn't know what to expect. But I really, really have enjoyed and I know that I've been emotional at times. I've been happy, sad. I mean, all emotions. Everybody's probably seen that. But most of all, I've really felt a completion of what I started, because I feel like I started 6 years ago. We've been talking about building this school. We've been talking about all these things that we were going to do. And for them to come to fruition, for me to be here to see the completion was just awesome. The fact that I'm completing this when my daughter's completing high school is a plus. So thank you guys so much for everything and all your encouragements and words of wisdom and prayers. But thanks. PCCS will always be in my heart.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stevens, can you see your plaque?
Yeah, I can read it too.
Oh, he's good.
Well, we do have a plaque for you, and I'm sure that it's going to find its way to you. We thank you very much for your service as well as treasurer. Thank you for always, being a steady presence here and for helping us do the right thing with the money, because that's important. Thank you very much.
It's been a long time, because I started with everything before it was, when high school was starting. And then now we've gone through and we've built this big building that you guys are in right now. So, you can see how the school has grown. And I think with the leadership that it's got now, it's going to continue to grow. So I think I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the future.
Thank you. All right. You're free to go. I'm free to go. Thank you again. We also have 2 parent reps completing their 2-year term. Ms. Barker completing your term, and Ms. Greenman completing your term. Thank you very much for your service these past 2 years. And I would like to nominate Ms. Barker to move from a parent rep position to an at-large position, and also remain secretary for another year.
I second that.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Any opposed? The secretary thing. Motion carries. And Ms. Greenman, thank you very much for your service and your continued service. And I will also make a motion to move you to an at-large position.
Second.
Motion to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
2 more years, y'all. Thank you very much for accepting the nomination. All right, we have another vacant at-large seat. I would like to nominate Michael Satterfield for that seat. Is there any discussion, or I make a motion to move Michael Satterfield into the at-large seat, the empty at-large seat?
Second.
Motion to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Satterfield, would you join us up here, please? And I think that there's a lot of movement happening tonight. We're like halfway through. But we might need to get an extra chair. An extra one in addition to that extra one.
Okay.
My math might not be right, though, but
Yeah, we did.
I would like to thank Ms. Hamilton, Star Hamilton, for her 2 years as elementary staff rep. She isn't here with us tonight. We always appreciated her presence, and for serving in that way, we thank her. So the new elementary staff rep, Ms. Cabe, Kim Cabe, I move that we seat Ms. Cabe as the new elementary staff rep.
Second.
Motion to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Cabe, would you join us, please? And since we vacated 2 parent rep spots a minute ago, we have 2 new parent reps. I would like to move to seat Ms. Sarah Nobles as the new middle school parent rep. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion to second. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Nobles, can you join us? And a new high school parent rep, Mr. Paul Tharp. I move that we seat Paul Tharp as the new high school parent rep.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Tharp, please join us. We thank all of you for accepting the nomination. Thank you for running for parent rep. It's a full crowd now. I like it. Yeah, it's good to have everybody up here. That's great. Full board. So now we have vacated also with the 6 years of service from Ms. Crawford and Mr. Stevens. We need to fill a VP and a treasurer spot. I would like to nominate Michael Satterfield as VP.
Second.
Motion to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
That was 1, 2. Did you vote 3? Aye. She doesn't vote. Oh, that's right. No, you vote. She's a parent rep.
She just got seated.
We're going to get it straight. But however many voting we have, 1, 2,
It's an aye for me. In favor.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 1. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Satterfield. And then treasurer, I would like to nominate Scott McCraney.
Second, good.
I didn't save it quite fast enough. So close. I'd like to nominate Scott McCraney as our treasurer.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. That was a lot of movement. We got it. For at least one more year. This is it. Thank you, everyone, for serving. It's going to be great.
Yes, it is.
Do you have anything else? All right, again, board training is on July 23rd, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., and the next board meeting is August 16th, back here, same place, same time, 7 p.m. Thank you, everyone. We stand adjourned.